Russ, well done. Win on the board at Fylde. It's a tough place to go, Fylde, and they're scrapping for their lives, so you must have been pleased with that one.
Yeah, it really was. I think we went there with good organisation against a team who were top 3 in the form table. I think you could tell with the result they had on Tuesday, beating Brackley 2-1. Really tough place to go, because I think you can put any championship, premiership team there and it's got to be a tough game. The surface and the way they play, but full respect to Russ Wilcox, they've got a good organised team there, and I think they'll be more than safe come 5 games time.
And you got the goal early on, which is something we've been talking about for weeks now. Get a good start in a game, and you did precisely that.
Yeah, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think every time we've scored first, we haven't lost this season, which it just shows you how vital the first goal is. And we got it nice and early, created other chances. Wasn't pretty, wasn't a football game. It was a tough fight between two teams who were fighting for something. And we come out on the right end of the results, and I think we deserved it as well.
Back here then, obviously double-header coming up, and the latest sort of trend over the last few years to play on Good Friday seems sensible to me, because you get obviously an extra day to recover. Yeah,
for sure. I like these double games over quick succession. You use your squad, you've got to be organised, you've got to adapt. Everyone's in the same situation, and again we play the two teams in form. So look forward to welcoming Buxton, new team, new manager. And we've got to be right on it, because they're fighting for the playoffs.
Yeah, they've come on a great run, haven't they, really? Because they looked out of playoff contention for a long time.
Yeah, that one team who are probably going to try and pip the last spot, but we've got to try and stop them. 2 good teams playing each other on Saturday, known for playing good football. So let's have a go.
You've obviously been up there already this season. What are your memories of that one?
Not very good, really. We drew the game, but I think it was the turn of our downfall for 2 or 3 months. We lost 3 big players that night, all before half time, and it kind of the domino effect of that game over the month after that, losing 3 or 4 more players and bringing loads in, it all become a little bit messy for 3 months, and we lost our way. And we had 2 really tough months over October, November, December.
Yeah, so you lost defenders that night, didn't you? There were Joe Folks and Nat Knight Percival, I think were 2 of them from memory.
Yeah, Nat was out for 3.5 months, 4 months. Folksy was out for 6 weeks, and Ethan Freemantle was out for 6 weeks. And then it kind of catapulted into a downfall. So listen, it was a good result on the night, but the start of a poor run of form it was.
You mentioned Ethan Freemantle there. Obviously, you told us out for the rest of the season. What's the latest news on him? Latest
news, it looks likely he will need an operation, but don't quote me on that, because I still think he needs to see specialists. It's not good. He's out for the season, and our plan is now to get him back for the 1st of July for the new season, and hopefully he's fully fit on that first day.
Yeah, it's a disappointing run for him, hasn't he? He seems to have picked up injuries. He had a little run, then an injury all the time.
No, I don't think he's had any consistency in his run, and that's kind of coincided with his performances and whatever. Every time he gets up to speed, he then gets an injury, and the injuries this year have all been to his head. So he's had some scans with some specialists, and hopefully he can return to playing in July.
I know head injury is an occupational hazard of a striker, but whenever I've seen him, he does kind of stick his head in where angels fear to tread. Is that part of it as well, do you think?
That's just the way he plays. I think he could probably protect himself a little bit more, or not be so robust, because there comes a line sometimes, and if you go over that line you can cause yourself damage, which he probably has. I'd say 2 of the 4 are freak accidents, and 2 of the 4 are probably him putting his head there first. But if you take that away from his game, he's not the same player. So it's a tough one, that is, and one you probably should ask the player, but probably thinking a little bit more wisely. But I'm not going to take anything away from Ethan. It was a pure accident last week.
Important then, you get a good result on Friday, really, because obviously it's great to back up the Fylde result. It's in front of the home fans, and it gives you a springboard before you go to Fylde, doesn't it, as well?
It does. Like I said, I think Buxton are in form, top of the league, the informed table, Fylde second. So it's a great weekend for us. Pit our wits. I think we're a different team the last 6 weeks. I think we look more organised. We're staying in games a lot longer. 1 defeat in 7, albeit a lot of draws. But yeah, I've told you I want to end the season on a high, and so far, we've got 5 games to go, and I want to end as many points as we can. So there's that optimism going into next year.
That's the immediate objective, obviously, end the season on a high. How much of it now is about planning for next year?
Planning started already. Started about a month ago and got irons in the fire and who we want to talk to at the football club. Everyone's on trial from now to the end of the season. I've told them that, and because next season we want to be much better and competitive at the right end.
And finally, in terms of your squad going into Friday, how are you looking?
Just Reece McNally, who's still sore. He'll probably be available for Monday, touch wood. And that night person will be back Monday as well. So probably the same squad from the Fylde game going into tomorrow.